the point of view of the previous process and arrive to the next process, how to deal with it. This is, I think, slide 20. We will begin by it. Yes, apply process costing methods to cases with transferred in costs. I told you transferred in costs in the last face-to-face lecture means something as raw material. But this does not mean there is no direct material to be added in the same process again. So this is transferred in cost. We call it 100% as material to be added then if there is material, wages, overhead, and so on. Now, finishing department, beginning work in process, inventory, 4,000 units, 60% material, 25% conversion cost. So now finishing department, this is the second department that received units produced from the process before it. This process has beginning work in process 4,000. This beginning work in process, 60% materials, 25% conversion cost. But regarding transferred in cost, it is 100% because it came from the previous process. Ending work in process inventory, 2,000 units. So it has beginning work in process and has ending work in process, material 100%, 40% conversion cost. Now, remember well that the transferred in cost regarding the beginning work in process is 100%. Then material 60, he mentioned 60, conversion cost 25%. Regarding ending work in process, material 100%, also transferred in cost 100%, and conversion cost 40%. The units transferred in from assembly from the previous process, 31,000. So what is transferred from the previous process is 31,000 plus 4,000 beginning work in process, so the total is 35. As there is 2,000 ending work in process, so the completed and the transfer to stores is 33. Now, look like this. Beginning inventory 4,000 at beginning of this process. Units started in process that received from the previous process 31, so the total 35,000. Units completed and transferred to finished goods stores 33, because we have ending inventory of 2,000, so the total equal 35,000. Now, compute equivalent units. This is step 2 from the PowerPoint point of view. But we always prepare the equivalent units of production report for all the items of cost. Equivalent units for transferred in cost. This is the first column after the physical flow column. He said transferred to finished goods 33, ending inventory 2,000, so the total 35,000. Inventory is 100% complete for the work performed in the assembly department. That's why we consider it 100%. Now, equivalent units for direct materials cost. So the previous one was direct material but transferred from the previous process. Now we are dealing with direct material that is added in the new process. He told me transferred in 33 plus ending inventory 100%, so total 35,000. Now, what about equivalent conversion cost? Equivalent units for conversion costs, ending inventory 2,000. Transferred to finished good 33. Then ending inventory 2,000 times 40% regarding conversion cost, so it equals 800. So the total 33,800. Note that we are not using first in, first out, but we are using the average cost method. Now, assume the following costs in the finishing department. Work in process beginning inventory from assembly 30,200, direct material 9,400, conversion cost 8,000. Total cost in beginning inventory 47,600. Now, current cost in the finishing department. Cost received from the assembly department 139,500. Direct material 9,780. Conversion cost 42,640. Total 191,920. Now, the transferred in cost 30,200 from beginning plus cost transferred in from assembly department 139,500 divided 35,000 equivalent units, so the average cost per unit for transferred in cost 4.85. For direct material, I have at beginning 9,400 plus 9,780 during the period, so the total divided 35,000 gives $0.55 per equivalent units. Conversion cost 8,000 from beginning plus 42,640 from the same period divided 33,800, that's the equivalent units regarding conversion, gives 1.5. So total unit cost 6.90. Summarized and assigned total cost step 4 and 5. Total cost in beginning inventory, beginning 47,600. Current cost in finishing department 191,920. So the total 239,520. The same cost we have to arrive to in the out cost, as we will see. Now, cost in work in process ending inventory, transferred in cost 2,000 times 4.85. Direct material 2,000 times 0.55. Conversion cost 2,000 times 40% to get 800. Then times 1.5 gives 1,200. Total cost in ending inventory 12,000. Now, cost to account for. Cost to account for. Cost transferred to finished goods inventory 33,000 times transferred in cost, direct material, conversion cost, that is 6.9, gives 227,700. Cost in ending work in process inventory, $12,000 minus 180 for rounding error gives 11,820. So he calculated it 12,000, but here he approximated it for the approximation or the rounding figures. It doesn't matter, 11,820. Total 239,520. Transferred in cost through FIFO method. So we explained the weighted average method that we added beginning inventory plus the new units received. Then we completed some units and the remaining ending work in process. But now, in case of FIFO method, we have to deal with the completed units in two steps. The first step, to complete the work in process at beginning. Then to add the new units from this period that are finished. After this, we are looking to the ending inventory as in the last method. Now, beginning inventory, 4,000. Units started, 31. So total 35,000. Units transferred to finished goods, 33. Ending inventory, 2,000. So 35,000. Just the same as in the weighted average. Compute equivalent units, but using FIFO. Equivalent units for transferred in cost. From beginning work in process, the transferred in cost has 100% from the previous process, so I will give it 0. Then these units in beginning work in process were 4,000. As they completed the 33, so the remaining is started and completed 29. Then the 2,000, that is work in process and ending, 100% 2,000, so 31,000. Again, the beginning work in process was 4,000 units. We consider the 4,000 completely in case of weighted average method. But here, the 4,000, as it takes 100% of its cost, so I consider it 0. 4,000, the remaining of 33 is 29. Then 2,000 ending, the total is 31. regarding material cost, from beginning work in process 1,600, 1,600, started and completed 29,000. You know why 1,600? Because it is completed 60%. That's why we consider the 40% out of 4,000, 1,600. Then the 29,000 of this period, work in process at end 100%, 2,000 gives 32,600. Now, what about conversion cost? From beginning work in process 3,000. It was 4,000, but the completion rate was 25%. The non-completion rate is 75%. 75% times 4,000 gives 3,000. Then 29,000, they started and completed. Then 40% of the 2,000, that is 800 in ending work in process. Total equivalent units, 32,800. Now, compute equivalent unit average cost. The transferred in 139,590 divided the equivalent units 31,000 gives 4.5. The direct material 9,780 divided 32,600 equivalent units gives 0.3. Conversion cost 42,640 equivalent units, cost during the period divided 32,800 equivalent units gives 1.3. Total unit cost 6.1. Pay attention that we didn't add the cost of beginning work in process because we are not dealing with using weighted average, but it is called Fifo method. Okay. Now, current cost in finishing department 192,010. Work in process at beginning 47,600. So cost to account for 239,610. Now, when we begin computing the cost of the 33,000 completed, we will consider the cost of beginning work in process at first. Then we complete for the 4,000 regarding the material, the conversion cost. But regarding transferred in, it will be 0 because it is completed. As we see now, work in process ending inventory, he calculated first, no, never mind. Transferred in 2,000 times 4.5. Direct material 2,000 times 0.30. Conversion cost 800 times 130. This is the total. What about the cost transferred out? From beginning inventory, this is the cost of beginning inventory for all the items of cost. Then direct material added. He didn't say transferred in cost because transferred in cost is 0 because it is completed from its beginning. Direct material added 40% of the 4,000 because it is completed 60% times 0.3. Conversion cost 75% times the 4,000, that is 3,000 times 1.3 gives 51,980. Now, from beginning inventory 51,980, from current production 29 times 6.1 gives 228,880. Then I have the ending inventory transferred in to finished goods 228,880. Just we calculated now 228,880. Then we add work in process at end as we calculated it 10,640 the slide before 10,640. Okay. Then he said rounded error 90, so 239,610. Our approximation is always better than the approximation here, and he adds and they deduct rounding error and so on. This is how to deal with transferred in cost from the previous process, at the same time using Fifo method, at the same time using weighted average method. This chapter will be explained to you again next Monday, inshallah, from its beginning till its end. Hoping you good luck. I'm so sorry because I'm sick this week. That's why I was speaking in a hurry. At the same time, I'm not so fresh to be as each lecture. See you next lecture, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.